Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. I'm really hoping that the wind isn't too loud. It's like really horrible weather and this fireplace actually does work, so there might be wind and stuff coming through, so please bear with. Today I am basically tackling or trying to tackle a load of my kind of lingering whips. I tend to be like a monotonous knitter, but over the last few months I don't know what's happened to me. I've got like kind of a few things that have been like left on the go. And the other thing about this video is this is also going to be the last vlog in my bedroom because I'm moving out in like a week and a half. So basically I just finished my crochet zip up jumper thing, and basically I didn't want to start anything new because, like, I'm sure if you've moved house you know how stressful it is, like all the packing and stuff. And like I said, I have some pieces that have been on the go for a little while, so the goal is to try and finish what I can before I move, and it means I don't have to start anything new. So we will just jump right into what I'm currently working on. So I literally finished my crochet zip up thing this weekend. Today is Monday. I think I finished that like Friday or Saturday, and this piece that I've got here I have pretty much not worked on it since the end of May. So if you've been like watching the channel for a little bit, we went to Devon in May, and basically on the way back I cast this on and I basically knit the whole of the body in the car, and I've been putting off knitting the sleeves because I really hate knitting small circumference and like on shorty needles, and I kind of have to for this. So I guess I'll show you the project quickly and talk to you a little bit about it. I was gonna start this vlog last night and then it kind of got too late and the light was too bad, but bearing in mind yesterday afternoon, so like I think I might have started this, god, it must have been after 7 o'clock last night. This had no sleeves, okay? This was literally just a body. The body was completely done, and this is now where I am. So this is my, oh my god, look, see, this is just a random cable as well. That shouldn't even be attached. This is my second blouse number one. So I knit my first blouse number one in a Noro yarn, and then I had loads of this left over. This is the Drops Brush Alpaca Silk. I self-drafted a cardigan using this, like a lace cardigan, and just horrifically overbought, and I had loads left, and it's the same, it was like the same needle size and close enough gauge, whatever, that I was just like, I'm just gonna make a second blouse because I think that this looks really nice and it's quite a fun layering piece. So yeah, I cast this on when we were on holiday because I'd finished the cardigan, so I already had the yarn on me, and it was just really simple, like, because the top of this is a contiguous satin sleeve, so it's essentially like when you knit a raglan and everything's just continuous, you're not like really picking up stitches anywhere. It was just so easy to work on in the car, but this yarn ladder's really bad. So I'll show you the back because I do need to do some kind of surgery. You can see where my start and end of round were because of this line, and I didn't want like gaps going the whole way down the sleeves doing magic loop because I would normally do magic loop, and so I've knit these completely on shorties. So here are the shorties. So yeah, like I said, I've been putting this off for months and months. I hate knitting on shorties. I just find it so uncomfortable. It's just so not my preferred way of doing things, and last night I was like, okay, this is the whip that is closest to completion because the whole of the body's done, and because this isn't something like, this isn't very oversized, I'm pretty sure that this is the smallest size. I think I knit my first one in the second size, but I found that I had loads of like excess fabric here and it kind of sits a bit funny sometimes, so I decided to go down to the smallest size. And so yeah, I mean, these sleeves worked up so fast, so I literally knit probably like half or like a bit more than half last night, and then thought I'll take this to work and I'll knit on it on my lunch break. Didn't think I would get that much further, but actually so when I move next week, the following week after that, I'm also starting a new job. So literally I'm like leaving my job, moving, starting my new job, and basically because I'm leaving this job, there's really not that much work for me like left over, because obviously it's all sort of being dealt with elsewhere from this week. So all of that is to say, it's been really quiet at work, so I had a lot more knitting time today than I thought I was going to. So I'm basically about halfway through the second sleeve. I'm thinking I might even be able to finish this tonight. The only thing is, I don't know if I did the bind off on this arm too tight. I was trying to do it loose, but honestly, like, this yarn is a little bit I would say fiddly to knit with just on its own, so I don't know. I'm going to see how this looks like when it's blocked, but the fabric is super nice, it's super soft, and honestly I feel like we're about to go into the correct type of weather to wear something like this, because it's quite light and airy, but it's still brush alpaca, so it's still kind of warming. So yeah, this is the first one. Now that I've been working on the sleeves, it's like honestly not that bad, and they have been flying by quicker than I think. It's just not the most enjoyable thing in terms of like process. Once that one's done, I'm going to show you now, just because we've actually got some like relatively okay lighting. I am going to return to my Cable's Delight second sample. So where I got to before is I've picked up for a sleeve, and basically the reason that I stopped is because I actually am going to rip out this bit. It's only probably about 2 to 2.5 inches worth, and I basically want to rechart it. The amount of decreases that I need are gonna basically eat up into this section where the eyelets and the cables are. So what I want to do is make this section on the top smaller, the section on the bottom bigger, so that as the sleeve decreases, you're not actually losing any detail. The only thing that's eaten into is like this double interrupted rib stitch. So yeah, it's going to be a really easy fix. It's just basically going to be a case of recharting it, ripping it out, re-knitting it. So I'm going to get to knitting anyway, and we'll catch up on these later.
If the colour of the coral was like a bag of Skittles right now, I would be stressed out beyond all repair.
It's now the next day, and I did finish my blouse last night, honestly, and I got to a point I was like, oh, I really don't want to knit on these shorties anymore, but we just persevered because I know I'd feel so much better once it was done. This is how she is looking. I am a little bit concerned about the bind offs everywhere, but I don't know, I'll have to see after blocking if they loosen up, because I haven't done them really tight, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm worried that the ends are gonna like go like this. I don't know if you can see what I mean. So I'm gonna try and, like, when I block this, just like stretch the cuffs as far as possible. But yeah, feeling pretty good considering it's only Tuesday and is it Tuesday? Oh my god, yeah. So I knit these sleeves basically in a day, because I started them Sunday evening and then I was at work yesterday and then I finished them yesterday evening. So probably like within, yeah, probably could have knit these up within a day if I'd actually just sat down and done it. The only thing I will say is, normally when I do patterns, the way that I like pick up for sleeves is I pick up like extra stitches either side of the casted on stitches to try and avoid holes, and it doesn't say to do that in this, and I just followed it to pattern and the holes are quite noticeable, so I'm going to use the end that's here to try and sew them up, because they're just like too big to leave. And I did notice it a little bit in my original version, but I think because that was just a thicker yarn in general, like, I don't know, maybe it was just like a little bit more forgiving. But I do think it's going to be so cute as like a layering piece, and it's so soft, it feels really nice, and actually it's also not as sheer as I thought. So I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I wouldn't not wear a top under this, but it's definitely not as see-through as I thought it was going to be. Let me, if I do this, yeah, so this is like one layer, although I guess that's the inside. This is like one layer, so you can, I don't know if you can really see like where my jumper ends. Yeah, you can kind of, but yeah, I thought it was going to be really sheer. So this is number one, and I'm pretty sure that my crochet zip up thing is dry, so we can maybe take that off the blocking mats, block this at some point this week. I also hemmed some jeans today. It's not very interesting. These are from Marks and Spencer's actually. Feel like that's how I know that I'm getting older. But these are like, they're called the Smart Wide. So they have like the crease down the front that you would typically find in tailored trousers, and they're quite nice. So yeah, I don't know, treated myself to those. Probably more than I would normally spend on jeans, but I think that'd be cute. So been working on my cable jumper today. Did get in a little bit of work on it. So I obviously frogged the sleeve as I said I was going to, and I've knitted back further than I was before, but not by kind of drastic amounts. So this is what the new sleeve looks like. So yeah, this section on the bottom is way bigger to allow for all of the decreases that I'm going to need to do. And I also swapped out, I think originally I had like an eyelet row, a mini cable, and then an eyelet row. So it was basically like this portion, but I decided to put a big cable and just a single eyelet because I don't know, I've just felt like it looked like, this is actually the back that I'm showing you. I just thought it looked better, truthfully. It was purely aesthetic over anything else, and then obviously it's still got this on the top. The reason that I don't do cables right on the top of the sleeve and that I'm doing this stitch instead is that I find that it becomes difficult when you come to block it, because obviously when you knit something in cables you tend to have to like not stretch block it, but you do have to kind of like pin it down in a certain way. And I find that when they're on the top of the sleeve it becomes very difficult to stretch them correctly if they're on the fold, because obviously where you're pinning it flat, unless you then went in and did the sleeves separately and sort of folded them like this way so that the top and bottom were flat. But yeah, generally I just find it's easier if you're knitting someone else's design, then like it is what it is, and like it's not the end of the world. But when I'm doing my own stuff, I do just try and avoid if I can. I also just think it looks nice, like the symmetry. And yeah, I mean the sleeves are going by super fast. Another benefit of just doing the big cable as well is that there's like less cables, because the eyelet's on a 5-row repeat and the big cable's on a 10, but the little the mini cable is also on a 5-row repeat, so it basically means I'm also cabling less. And because so much of it is this double interrupted rib, it's actually working out pretty quick, so it's not too painful. I also forgot to say in yesterday's update, but I'm also like, I don't know, maybe like 2/5 of the way through Assassin's Quest. So I recently read, what is the first one? Assassin's Apprentice, and then Royal Assassin, and then this is the third one. The other books are up there. Annoyingly my covers don't match because I bought them from like a secondhand book website. This was like years ago, and when they sent them they obviously didn't send matching editions. This book is so big. Well, it's not like, it's like I think 800-ish pages. I'm currently like 310 pages in. I will say this isn't my favourite installment of the 3, but I also feel like, I don't know, if you've read this series you'll know what I'm talking about, but like I honestly feel like not a lot has happened and it's like 300 pages into the book. I'm obviously interested enough to like continue reading, or I wouldn't be reading it. And the thing is as well is like this series by Robin Hobb, I mean this is a trilogy, but I think the extended series is like well over like somewhere between 15 and 20 books, and obviously I want to be able to get to the later series, so I am just kind of like powering through this at the minute. But yeah, I will say I think that there's just been a lot of like nothing really. And I also find that like the main character Fitz, he's just kind of been annoying me in this one, which I feel like is maybe controversial because I feel like everyone that reads this like loves him, and I do like him, but I don't know, I just feel like he's been so, I don't know. But yeah, this is what I'm currently reading. I've definitely been reading a lot more recently. I found that like basically, obviously now I'm leaving my job, like it doesn't really matter, but I have been doing longer hours, but like means I have short lunch breaks, to really cut a long story short. So I've been reading on my short lunch breaks, but anyway, that's like so not the point. I'm gonna continue working on my cable thing. Me and my brother are actually going to the cinema tomorrow to see the Demon Slayer film, so I don't know how much I'll get done tomorrow, but obviously I will update you, and if I remember, I'll maybe take you to the cinema as well. I'm not even joking, it's literally gotten so cold. I actually have, for the first time since, or obviously earlier this year, like a long sleeve on under a jumper. We are going to cinema tonight to see the new Demon Slayer film, but I have made really good progress today, so I just wanted to quickly update you. I also gave this like a little bit of a steam block before I left work, so she's not fully blocked, but she's opening up more. And I've basically nearly finished the sleeve, so I've got like a tiny bit left to go on the cuff, and it's literally it for the first sleeve. I am really glad that I decided to redo it. You might be able to see what I mean now that this is actually knitted up. So where the decreases are, they're only worked in this section. None of them start creeping into like this part. So I don't know, I think it just makes for like an easier, it's like an easier knitting experience, and also I think just looks better as like a finished thing. It looks more deliberate. Obviously when it's on, like it doesn't look this drastic on your arm, so yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I have steam blocked this, so she is sitting a little bit, I guess it's just like clearer now. I think it's a pretty good size as is. I am still going to wet block it at the end, but it has just helped, it's kind of just like helped read it a little bit, but I'm so pleased with how it's coming out. So before we go, I'm gonna sit and knit on this cuff, and then yeah, tomorrow just gonna pick up for the other sleeve. Didn't think that was gonna light up. It's making my shoes glow. I just went and picked up this top from the locker that I got from Vinted. It's from Zara and it's cute, right? It's like a brown, I don't know, like stretchy material, literally brand new, tags on, and it's so plasticky, like where they've obviously just like heat pressed this flower on top. So I don't know, I'm honestly not sure. Like I feel like this could be cute as like a nice going out top, but also like I'm not 100% sure, because I don't know, I feel like this isn't gonna wash very well, so I don't know if I'm gonna return this truthfully. Yeah, it's a bit weird. On the other hand though, I have been making good progress on this guy. So this is how it's looking. It really reminds me of like a proper Knives Out jumper. Oh my god, there's a spider just dangling midair. I'm going to try this on so you can see and get rid of that spider also. One thing I do need to go back to is I definitely binded off the neck on this too tight, but probably go back at the end or something. But this is what it's looking like. So obviously we still need to go for a bit of length on the body, but this is what the sleeves are going to look like. And obviously this isn't like a proper block either, but I think as it is right now, she's cute. Obviously I've just been working on this sleeve today, so this sleeve hasn't even been steam blocked or anything, but I should definitely at least finish this sleeve this week. I'm hoping that maybe by the end of the weekend I could have actually finished this whole jumper. I feel like this will be such a cute like autumn winter jumper. I don't know, yeah, she's a cutie. Yeah, I have ordered some other bits from Vinted as well, so I'm waiting for them to come, but I don't know what to do with this. I might take it into work and see like if they think that this will not wash well. I don't know, I just feel like because it's so plasticky, the front is so rigid. I don't know, I feel like this looked nicer flat, but we're gonna have to see. In terms of the jumper, I feel like not much more to say, just gonna keep knitting on it. Tomorrow we're going back to the flat just to check over everything, finalize everything, and then we're gonna go do some charity shopping and stuff. So yeah, the film, we also saw the film last night. It was good, but I feel like the pacing could have been better. I don't know, if you've seen it, if you know, you know. So yeah, that's about it on my end. We'll probably catch up another time. So it's currently Saturday the 20th, and I am at the moment actually making myself a new set of nails. These ones need to be replaced. We're going for like this olive green colour that I had again. Someone actually commented or messaged me or something and said, were the last set meant to be olives? And yes, they were, but this set I'm just doing plain. And basically this weekend I am going to be starting to pack up my room and everything because we're moving on Thursday. So me and my boyfriend are getting our first flat together, hence there's like a mess everywhere. So yeah, gonna start like packing up all of my yarn stash and everything. Basically just gonna be vacuum packing a load of it, like all my knit jumpers and stuff. I think I might honestly do the moving as like separate videos because I kind of just want to document it, like even more so for myself, like even if no one else is really that interested. But we are basically getting a 2-bedroom flat, and the second bedroom is going to be essentially like an office slash like crafting room kind of thing for me. Obviously I have the industrial knit machine and like my actual day job. Well, okay, so my job for the last year and a half has been a repairs and alterations seamstress, but so we move on Thursday, then the following week I'm starting a new job. So it's a little bit different, but it is still sewing based, but it's not like it's not clothing, it's like not repairs and alterations. So that's going to be really exciting, but obviously I'm still going to be using all the same equipment and that kind of thing. So yeah, Ryan's really kindly letting me have the spare bedroom. I don't doubt that he'll use it as well, like we might both have a desk in there or something, but he's gonna have more space sort of in the living space for like his music equipment. I think it will work out better that way because, sorry, I'm just like low-key checking this nail over, especially like if he has people round to like, I don't know, play with him or record or anything. I think it would just be easier if he has, like, the living room's obviously a bigger like open space, whereas the second bedroom's going to be more of an enclosed space with my stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of working out, but I don't really know how much I'm going to be working on my knits this weekend. I imagine maybe more so tonight and tomorrow. I haven't actually knit anymore on my cable jumper since we last caught up, I believe, because yesterday we were super busy. We had to like go back to the flat and basically like finalize everything. So yeah, this vlog, I think the plan is I'm just going to keep it purely sort of knitting updates, and then yeah, very soon will be all of the move-in stuff. And the other thing as well is that like I don't necessarily have all of the furniture yet for the spare bedroom because like we haven't done an IKEA trip or anything. So that's going to be super exciting and like showing you how I decorate and stuff. But yeah, I think this weekend I'm probably gonna, after I've done my nails, the plan is I'm gonna like sort this room out, and then yeah, like I said, start on the moving vlog, start like I'll show kind of like all of my stash and that kind of thing. So yeah, as of right now we're just doing a super simple set of nails because I don't really want to be spending time doing anything. I mean, these weren't anything fancy, these just had nail stickers, but I do find no matter how much I coat these things in, they always start to peel by the end. I don't really know if you can see that, like it's always just the odd point. So I'm literally just keeping these plain and simple and just watching some YouTube, and I will probably chat with you when there's actually knitting updates and not like random like lifey things. So as I thought, we didn't get to any knitting yesterday. The room is so empty. I've literally packed almost absolutely everything up. I also did like a new routine this morning on my hair, I actually bothered to diffuse it and it's come out looking super nice. I can't imagine that this will last the night, but it looks quite cute today. I think I probably need like a stronger hold gel because the gel cast like wasn't that good, but I don't know. I always am just worried about using my diffuser because I find I get a lot of like frizz up here, and I don't know, like I have this weird curl pattern like specifically at this part of my head, and I kind of prefer when these bits are flatter because I have such a habit of like I always tuck my hair. So I don't know, that's so not what you're here for, but she's actually looking pretty cute. So this morning, well, it's probably about midday now, I need to like finish a YouTube video and stuff, but I'm actually gonna swatch for a new project today, which is with this. So it's gonna be for the Valerie blouse. I think I might have mentioned it yesterday. It's like a knit along. So essentially I have 6 of these. I need 8 mohairs for my size, and these were originally I was going to hold with some drops alpaca for a different project. Well, it's something I've already knit. I was going to frog it and re-knit it with mohair, but I have 6 of these, so I'm going to stripe it, and I don't know whether to do it with the chalk, so like predominantly burgundy with like a thin stripe of the white, or to do it with a thin stripe of the brown. So I need to gauge swatch anyway to make sure that I can hit gauge. I'm pretty sure it's knit on like 3.5mm needles, so I'm gonna sit and do that while I sort out my YouTube video, and we'll just kind of see how far we get on this one. I still have a couple days left of work, and I honestly can't imagine there's going to be a lot there for me to do because they've stopped sending me work because obviously I'm leaving, so we might get some more knitting time in over the next few days. But yeah, I'm going to swatch this and then I'll let you know how it goes because I don't know yet whether I'm going to do the black or the chalk, so let's see. I need to do this update super quick because we're about to start taking my furniture apart. Also, I think this is going to be a spot, so don't mind that. I've just been swatching and trying out the different stripes, and honestly I think what I'm going to do is order another 2 balls of the like this burgundy color. I think I will just prefer it if it's all solid, and also like because the front opening has there's no like edge details, like you basically slip the stitch and then there's no like I-cord, there's no ribbing, there's no nothing. So basically I didn't want to have to weave in ends along that edge every like 6 rows, so I'm gonna order some more. Even if the dye lot's a bit different, I'm hoping that I can hold like an old ball with like the new dye lot and then like switch back and forth. So yeah, I think I'm gonna order them from Wool Warehouse. I'm also just looking for some buttons, but the pink looks super nice, so yeah, we're gonna kind of go with this ish. I don't know though, I do like the stripe, but I don't know, I think I'm just gonna order more pink. Also guys, the hair is like low-key slaying, so love that. So the situation is that I am sleeping on the floor for the next 2 nights. Slept on a mattress on the floor last night, and yeah, today is Monday, so tomorrow's my last day at work, off Wednesday, moving Thursday, so hence this situation, because all the furniture has been taken apart basically. But I have made some more progress today on some projects, so I will show you that. I did cast on the Valerie blouse last night. I can't remember if I actually showed that in here or not. I think I might have shown the swatch. I did get further than this and then I had to frog it because I accidentally like jumped ahead too far in the pattern. I don't even know how. I think because the row repeats look so similar, I basically like, you kind of start off and you're increasing just the sleeves, and then a bit further down you increase the sleeves and the body, but I just accidentally went straight to increasing both the sleeves and the body, so frog that back, re-knit like a little bit. I kind of got a little bit sick of working on that after I had to frog it because obviously it's all mohair as well, but I did continue with this a little bit. So I'm over halfway through the like cabled portion of my second sleeve, not including the rib, so yeah, works a little bit more on this, but these are kind of my main 2 whips right now. I would like to get back tonight to the point that I was at in terms of length, but obviously having it done correctly on the Valerie blouse, because where this is part of a knit along, obviously everyone's like chatting about it and like everyone's kind of at the same point, so it's quite fun. And especially because the short rows at the beginning of this I think are a little bit confusing. Like they're not too bad, but obviously where the front of this hasn't got like, the button band isn't on the center front, it's like obviously diagonal, so the way that you work the short rows is like really offset, because like this is like the back and this is the front, so yeah, it's a bit weird, but it's not too bad. But yeah, hopefully you're gonna get some more progress on this. I did stop for a bit today because my hands were starting to cramp, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad tonight. And yeah, so close to moving out now. I'm not even joking, it's so cold in here because when we dismantled all of my furniture on Sunday, we've basically stacked everything in my bay window, and it was really hot and everyone was like just hot and sweaty. So the windows were open and now it is absolutely peeing it down with rain. It's freezing cold. There's like a horrible draft because obviously now I'm like the same height as the open fireplace and I'm right next to the door and we can't shut the windows. So I am currently in a hoodie and a long sleeve top, and I'm working on the Valerie blouse. So like I said, I did have to frog and re-knit. I'm about 2 rows away from being back to where I was before. I actually honestly am quite enjoying working with just mohair, but I find that because this is on like a 3.5 millimeter needle, I feel like the pearl rows feel like they go on forever. I'm not usually someone that particularly minds like cardigans and stuff when you have to like obviously purl on the pearl side. I don't know what it is about this. I don't know whether it's just because the needles are so small or what, but the knit rows I'm like loving, you know, flying through, and then every time I have to get to a pearl row I'm like, oh. But yeah, I am knitting a bit on this. I have been flicking back and forth a little bit. Today was my last day at work, so I'm technically unemployed for 6 days before I start my next job. But I did today finish the sleeves on my Cable's Delight, so I'll quickly show you that now. She is looking so good, or at least in my opinion. So here she is, and this has been steam blocked. I steam blocked this on the irons before. See, this is a problem, it's so loud outside. Okay, I steam blocked this on the irons before I left, so both of the sleeves are completely done, and obviously all that's left to do now is just keep going on the round, in the round on the body. I did also redo the neck cast off because it was so tight before. I was really struggling to get it over my head, so I basically undid the cast off and then I like frogged 1 row and then basically just cast it off and made sure that I wasn't pulling super tight on all of the stitches, so it still looks like fine. It's just actually goes over my head comfortably now. So yeah, I'm hoping obviously to get further on this week. I'm off all day tomorrow to hopefully work on some of these projects a little bit more, but since the Valerie blouse is also a knit along, I do feel like I owe this a little bit of time. So these are my girls right now, you know, it just flitting back and forth. And yeah, I'll probably see how far I get on these and then probably finish off this video tomorrow actually, because then we move Thursday. So yeah, super exciting, and I will catch up with you later.
Little plug in, I can just hit this button right here to save, and then I can do save to click and pull a color straight from the product photo, and this is really helpful.
We're gonna have to deal with this hodgepodge setup because today's Wednesday, and so tomorrow is the day that I move out, and I don't know if it's like echoing here or anything, but I realized that I hadn't actually shown like a proper try on yet the whole way through this video. So here is where my jumper's at. Today I've just been knitting some more rounds on the body. I actually don't think it's gonna be too much longer before I start doing the rib, but yeah, obviously the sleeves are all done. This, like I said before, has been steam blocked but not wet blocked, so I think we could probably get a bit more length out of these sleeves, but it's like a proper like knives out jumper. It's so cute. And I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again, I actually really like this yarn. It's the Friends wool from Hobby, just held on its own. I was really worried that this was going to be a bit too see-through, and I think it is a little bit. Like, I have got a black top on underneath, but I don't think it's like the end of the world. I don't know, you could maybe hold, like, I think if it wasn't in cream, I don't think it would be so bad. But yeah, obviously it has got like the eyelets as well. But yeah, this is how this project is looking. I've also been making, oh, I'm stuck. I've also been making some more progress on my Valerie blouse, but annoyingly the pearl rows really give me bad hand cramp in this hand. So I've kind of put this down for today. I just want to get as far as I can on this and, you know, basically just finish packing, finish sorting everything out. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the video. So thank you so much for everyone that watched, if you made it all the way to the end. And this is going to be finished this week. I'm telling myself now this is going to be finished this week because I'm sick of this being a whip. I just want to be able to wear it. So hopefully in the end of month podcast, this is going to be a finished object, because there's really no excuse now. I'm just going in the round on the body. It should be super fast. Like I said, I'm really not that far from the rib. So yeah, if you want to see more, definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.